We're leading the day off with World Cup stories. So it is time to remind you that Morning Kickaround's World Cup coverage is brought to you now by Oakland County Football Club. They are celebrating 10 years of summer soccer in Southeast Michigan in 2026. Visit Oakland County FC online for more. It is 146 days until World Cup 2026 kicks off.
No, 146. Oh, I'm not ready.
And confusion around the tickets has already been a bit weird, but confusion has increased this week. FIFA said that they have received more than 500 million ticket requests for the World Cup during a 33-day application window. And this all comes in the midst of other teams and countries being added to travel ban lists and some debated reports of up to 15 to 17,000 tickets being canceled. So the World Cup 2026 ticketing process and just everything surrounding it getting a little murkier this week.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that are happening here that I find interesting. One, I don't know if this is broken out and escaped containment. The story that thousands of people canceled their tickets. I don't know if anybody in your life, like my wife, who loves me very much and appreciates that I care about this game and that I work in soccer, isn't a soccer person. Nevertheless, made sure to send me something she saw in her Instagram feed that said thousands of people had canceled their tickets. Now, FIFA is saying, no, that didn't happen. And then you get the sort of boomerang thing where a bunch of outlets are now saying, well, no, that was all nonsense. That's not true. It's a misinformation. But that seems to be only on the word of FIFA that's in misinformation. And so we just don't know. Did thousands of people cancel their tickets in the aftermath of some other things happening in American society? It would stand to reason that people did, but we don't know for sure because when the reports come out, there's really no sourcing. It's just saying thousands of people canceled. FIFA pushes back and said, no, thousands of people didn't cancel. And so we're all left here to go, okay, what's the real deal with this? And then there's the 500 million ticket requests that FIFA says that they have fielded. And I don't know that I can believe that number, Rob. That strange credulity, I think. And I was reading Miguel Delaney writing at The Independent in the UK, and he's writing from an England fan perspective, so talking to the England supporters groups that want to travel for the World Cup. And we'll get to the biggest hang up for them in a second, but that thing about 500 million ticket requests, the supporters groups in England are very, very skeptical of those numbers. They say that they don't have the Football Supporters Europe, which is a wider pan supporters group. They said that the level of interest is comparable to Qatar, and that tournament barely saw any major fan group travel outside Argentina, Mexico, Morocco, and Saudi Arabia. And so do we take FIFA at their word that they've got all these ticket requests? Because are there enough people who care about the sport in America who might pay the prices to go to the World Cup to justify 500 million ticket requests? Probably not. It would have to come, a lot of those would have to come from outside the country. And again, nobody really knows except for what FIFA tells us, and you certainly cannot trust what FIFA tells us, Rob.
Yeah, 500 million is an absurdly big, that's a bigly type number if I was to coin a phrase for that. And just a quick Google.
Up very much like that. It keeps every couple of weeks. It's like, oh, it was 200. Now it's a billion. Well, a billion, it's just a number. It doesn't mean anything right now, in part because of the ticket buying process is still murky, right?
Yeah. I mean, you have to get a consultancy to figure out like if you're doing the World Cup ticket purchasing right. But just a quick Google, 500 million is actually 6% of the entire globe's population, according to this search.
Obviously, this what they're hoping people think is that people are asking for multiple tickets, like one person is putting in requests for multiple games, and that sort of justifies that 500 million number. It's not unique individuals, although FIFA is claiming that they have credit card data that backs this up. But again, they're not showing that to us. They're just telling us they have that.
Yeah, it's definitely a FIFA's word against not. And so that rumored and maybe debunked 17,000 canceled tickets. I saw this number is 0.0005 of this reported 500 million requested tickets. So it's kind of hard to wrap your mind around a little bit.
The other thing that is absolutely atrocious about this process, and it's a thing that Miguel writes in The Independent, and I encourage you to go read the story for yourself. And this, again, comes from the England fan perspective, but this is true for everybody else. You put in your application, you don't even know necessarily how much you're going to be paying for your ticket. I'll read the lead here. The deadline for initial World Cup ticket applications passed on Tuesday, with many England fans having no idea what they'll end up paying despite having to commit. The difference could end up being thousands of dollars, but now they can't cancel, right? So application, to what Andrew is saying. And by the way, Andrew,
nobody has a physical ticket. Nobody.
It's applications. FIFA has not issued the tickets. What they've said is put in your application, put down your credit card information, and when we get there, you'll get charged and you'll get your tickets. But again, some fans eligible for the $60 ticket, which only came into the picture, a month ago?
After 33 days.
After FIFA was just absolutely hammered by people saying, what the hell's going on? Why is every ticket thousands of dollars or $500? Some fans eligible for the limited $60 tickets, and that was supposed to be for supporters, by the way, will be sitting near relatives in the same section, facing thousands of dollars in difference. So you could end up in the same section as somebody who has paying $60 for their ticket, when you're going to be paying thousands of dollars because of the limited number of $60 tickets, and because they're not differentiating in terms of section, in terms of where you'll be sitting next to somebody, a relative, again, potentially, I want to travel with my relative. They've got to put in an application because you're limited. I think for the supporters tickets, you're limited to 2 people. You're limited to 2 tickets, right? So, and again, think about that. I got a family of 4. I'm a dad, and I want to take my wife and my 2 kids and go to the World Cup in my home country. And this is England, but this also applies to American supporters. Okay, well, I'm an AO member. I can have access to the $60 tickets. Oh, but you can only put an application for 2. You can't put an application for 4. Your wife can put in an application for 2, but is there a guarantee that she's going to get the tickets and you're going to get the tickets and you're going to all be able to sit together? No.
Yes, so you're going to spend all that money, travel all the way around the world, and potentially not even be with your group. I mean, that's a tough pill to swallow. And then like the unknown amount is like just blindly putting your credit card number in and like hoping that you don't bankrupt yourself.
And don't forget, I know we talked about this with Travel Football Fan. Don't forget that lots of people were like, oh, the World Cup's going to America. I want to go. Okay, well, I can't wait too long to book my hotel. Once we get the schedule out, right? Once the draw is done and we know the schedule and we know where England's going to be and the Dutch are going to be. Oh, I'm going to travel across the ocean. Now, again, I'm also inclined to feel sympathetic towards Americans who might have to travel within a very large country to see their thing. Not everybody lives in Seattle and LA, right? And you want to see the U.S. men's national team and you have to travel from the East Coast to go see those games. It's not quite the same as coming from Europe, but it's still a lift. And you're like, well, I got to book my hotel and I got to book my flight. And you do those things as prices rise. And then, the tickets are going to be thousands of dollars. Oh, well, I don't think I can afford this. Now I got to go cancel everything. And I'm not, again, like FIFA has made this so painful a process that it is actually turning fans off of the game, period.
Yeah, from our previous posts, there's been a number of people saying like, I cancel my ticket. And we even had a commenter saying they're canceling their cable package when the tournament starts as to not even partake in the viewing of it, which is a whole nother step forward. Something that came out of this report from FIFA that is a little bit, not exclusively negative, but the top ticket request countries, United States, Mexico, Canada, no surprise, the host nations. But then internationally, it's Germany, England, Brazil, Spain, Portugal, Argentina, and Colombia are the top 10 ticket requesting nations. And the highest demand games, Colombia versus Portugal, which Travel Football Fan definitely noted as the hottest ticket in this purchasing window. Then second, Mexico versus Korea, the World Cup final, Mexico, South Africa, and round of 32 in Toronto are the top
you've got
tickets.
A couple of games in Mexico on that list. I think that reflects obviously Mexico's interest in their national team, clearly, but it's just easier for again, we're focused on the American element.
They set a cap, and they have a little bit more regulation going on in the Mexican.
They have limits on some of the elements of ticket pricing and things like that. I mean, that I don't know how important that is to the number of requests. I think largely that's just, again, a function of the passion that Mexican football fans have for their country and their national team. But man, the whole thing doesn't have to be this way.
This is intentional. This is intentional.
And it also comes with word, a report out. I saw this, that Gianni Infantino makes $6 million something a year as FIFA president. This is something like a 300% increase from his salary when he got the job, when he became FIFA president, right? And man,
that's the number. So for you to cozy up to all the dictators around the world and do all that thing, apparently the number to do all that, 6 million.
Again, all of this just feels like it's meant to line the pockets of a few individuals at the expense of fans. Again, the quotes, I mean, this is the kind of quotes that you would expect to hear. Discussion groups involving members of the England Supporters Travel Club feature comments like obscene, blatant exploitation, a preying on loyalty and the feeling this is priceless, and ultimately FIFA can stick it. They've ruined the best tournament in the world.
That's a tough pill to swallow. Hopefully not just hyperbolic for quote's sake, but hopefully that doesn't turn out to be true. But if you look at the themes of, you're saying Qatar had the least amount of traveling groups, and you'd say that maybe that trend continues here in 2026.
Yeah, and I don't think we thought that it was going to be like that. And again, it's not just about ticket prices, not just about how expensive it is to travel. It's also about the conditions on the ground and what you might have to deal with, and not knowing. Like, people
getting
may
through the
laugh
airport.
off. Yeah, well, people may laugh off, and I know that we've had comments on the channel. Oh, whatever, stop while you're whining. This is important to do whatever the administration wants to do around immigration and stuff. I disagree vehemently. I think it's wrong to be kidnapping people off the street. That's just my personal opinion, whatever. But even if you're like, oh, this is something necessary for our country, and you believe in the ideology that would direct us to be doing what we're doing, people who are traveling for the biggest tournament in the world don't know what they're going to be running into. They cannot be sure. You can't tell them, hey, 100% you're going to be safe, because you can't. That's a lie. It's a lie to say we know you're going to be safe when you come. Why would you trust that if you're a soccer fan?
Emptying out your bank.
A pall cast on the entire, and emptying out your bank account in order to do it. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, potential, no reason, unexplained detention and bank account going empty sounds like a troubling mix for anyone considering, a huge trip. Costs are up to travel anywhere, especially international travel is expensive. So we'll see how that all plays out. As I said at the top of the show, it is 146 days until World Cup 2026 kicks off. Morning Kickaround's World Cup coverage is brought to you now by Oakland County Football Club, celebrating 10 years of summer soccer in Southeast Michigan 2026. Visit Oakland County FC online for more information.